I feel generally from both players, it's just unfortunate that Zizi wasn't able to sort of clinch the win earlier on and be decisive about it, because now he seems to be in trouble. Looks like he's mining that extractor from the long distance with the Zerglings just because he's so desperate for gas, but Idra is having none of that. He's finally ready to move out and actually punish the Zerg player severely for not taking him out earlier with these waves. As I said, Zizi's got massive numbers of Zerglings. He's not really going to run out of Zerglings, but Zerglings are just not enough to do anything against fully upgraded Marines in such large numbers with medic and 5-at support. There's just nothing you can do. Doesn't matter if you have 100 Zerglings. They're all going to die to this kind of Terran army in the long run. And Idra's able to push out to this third base and prevent... It's basically very, very important, because this is probably the last expansion on the entire map which has not really been touched in terms of minerals, and if Idra can stop Zizi from getting it, and if he can get it himself, he should be able to clinch this game and come out on top. But Zizi's ready to move in with an army here, but these science vessels, wow, that's a lot of irradiates, very fantastic irradiates. A huge swarm of scourges comes in, a whole big clutter of them, but Idra very quick, taking the vessels out of range, the Marines coming in to back them up, and that was just a fantastic play by Idra, getting rid of those Ultralisks with the irradiates. They're going to be in a world of pain right now, and the vessels having escaped, so they'll be able to charge up and attack again. And wow, Zizi's gone for Guardians. Great to see some additional unit choices here at the last minute. Great Aspire being researched there with nobody noticing except for Zizi, obviously, and Guardians now leisurely coming in to pick up these Zerglings, but I don't feel like that's going to be enough. The vessels coming in to irradiate the Guardians as well. That's going to do plenty of damage to them. In the meantime, Zizi actually coming in to wipe out this third base of Idra, but he can lift it off and then come in and consolidate his position by just knocking it out later, and those Guardians aren't really going to be able to do too much. Yeah, the Marines just come in to polish them off. The last one that wasn't irradiated. So, another attack going down over here at the 3 o'clock position, and only 3 Ultralisks there, but Idra just micromanaging his Marines around. He's not really losing them to Ultralisks. He's got them fully upgraded at this point. He doesn't really have to... He's got a few options. He can run back if he wants to, and indeed he has decided to do that. Just consolidating position. Idra just one of those players that really makes sure his macromanagement and economy is doing well before he puts out and gets too decisive. And he's just really performing well in that regard. He's in good control of his base. He's got everything just producing and just coming on nicely. Everything seems to be trucking along well. But Zizi is just running out of stuff. He's got so many minerals, but he's just so low on gas. He can't afford to keep rebuilding Ultralisks. He can't afford more gas tech units. He can't afford to keep building Defilers. And, oh, wow, look at all those tanks. Look at all those tanks. Idra's just sitting pretty with those tanks. And wow, again, oh my god. Idra's like the goalkeeper of vessels. He's managing to move them out of range of the Scourges every time they come into suicide. And the Marines just wiping them out. These Marines have just totally chewed up the 3 o'clock position. The vessels now dematrixing the Marines. Nothing's happening there. The Zerglings screaming in to kill the tanks, but normally Zerglings will be more than enough for tanks, but when there's so many tanks that every Zergling dies within range, then the tanks are just unassailable. That's just brilliant, and it's great that the command centers are positioned like that, because they give vision to the tanks, which obviously can shoot a lot further than they can see, as StarCraft players know, especially Terran players. And the Zerglings, just nothing happening there. The thing about Zerglings is they take up time in larvae, and if you just keep rebuilding them, I mean, sometimes it's just a waste of time. Because if they're doing nothing, then, I mean, that's just other units you can't be queuing up with your hatcheries. And, wow, Zizi is just really running out of options. He's got nothing left to take out these units. I mean, those Scourges represent a lot of gas, which Zizi just doesn't have. Idra's actually now mining the final unmolested, untapped Vespene Geyser in the game, in the map so far, and he'll be able to transfer over his remaining SCVs to harvest that mineral patch as well. Massive army here by Idra. Idra can afford to start getting aggressive here, and really this fight's not going to go Zizi's way. Massive swarms going off though. Swarms going off, but that's only going to lose Idra a small part of his units. He's got a huge number of tanks backed up outside of the swarms, just crushing that Zerg army, and well, restoration being used. used. Wow, Restoration being used in the plague, so a very rare ability being used. Just showing off how much spare energy he's got at this point, because he knows that he's won. He's managed to just hold off the Zerg for so long, and the storm is ended, the nightmare is ended for Terran, and looks like Idra has emerged victorious. So, wow, extremely exciting game. Very well played by Idra. I just cannot believe what I just saw. Such great tank use, and the last remaining Ultralisks on the map just getting pummeled, just face planted to the tanks with three +3 weapons on the tanks, fully upgraded, just pounding Zerg units, any ground units that get in the way, and that vessel cloud is intact. So there's nothing that Zizi can do to avoid being wiped out at this point, and we're probably gonna see it. He's holding on for a little bit. We've got one last Zerg. I think Zizi is going to say at this point, I'm just going to have one last crack at this before I leave, just to see if I can even this up and turn this into an epic game to remember, where finally the Zerg makes it like a double comeback right at the end. It doesn't look too hopeful though. The Scourges are being wiped out. The vessels are looking very ominous there. A large group of Marines and medics just charging in. They see what's going on. Oh, huge group of tanks just sieging up, blasting that huge trail of blood there we saw the Ultralisks. End of game. Finally, we've concluded the game. Zizi has left. Idra is the winner. Fantastic TvZ game on Othello. Idra versus Dream.t Zizi. Fantastic game. Guys, you've been listening to Fall. Another awesome StarCraft commentary. Pretty much a 50-minute TvZ game there. Really enjoyed that one. Hope you guys did as well. Catch me again later for another great, exciting StarCraft audio commentary. See you later.